Well, as far as the capital goes, the tension among the political elite here is rising, given the context in the eastern part of the country. Briefly after we heard of the incidents in Luhansk, I made several phone calls to different politicians here in Ukraine, and everyone is actually talking about one thing and one thing only: Minsk agreement. Ukrainians here in Kiev understand the agreement as a way to move forward to a certain extent, and they believe that these incidents, these so-called false flag incidents, are a violation, a direct violation of the Minsk agreement, and they feel they can no longer engage with Russia in good faith, in dialogue, as everyone else is asking both parties at the moment to do.
Yeah, there was talk a couple of days ago when there was intelligence reports that an invasion could happen at 3 o'clock in the morning on the 15th, which of course didn't come to pass, that the stock markets reacted positively to that, and people talked about glimmers of hope that there could be a dialogue between Russia and the West over Ukraine. Has that hope essentially been extinguished now with what's happened, for instance, with the shelling of the nursery school?
Well, I wouldn't go that far to say the hope was completely extinguished, but definitely these incidents do not help the dialogue to move forward. Both parties are at the moment locked in positions that I personally feel from the ground here they're not willing to negotiate. And we're both talking about we're actually talking about NATO as well as Russia. We just heard the Secretary General of NATO a couple hours ago saying we are willing to sit down and speak with Russia, but he didn't give any concession, any real moderation or willingness to negotiate something. And that is also true for Russia. Russia demands troops to be pulled out of Eastern Europe. It demands that Ukraine never joins the alliance. So at the moment, what we have is both sides locked in a position, and definitely these sort of incidents do not help. Also, we have to keep in mind that these incidents have happened before the media, the world was watching Ukraine as it watches it now. Incidents have happened in the past. They never really stopped this conflict in eastern Ukraine, in Donbass. Never really stopped. We had incidents weekly. I've been following stories in eastern Ukraine past 2016, past Minsk II agreement, which obviously failed again. And we always witnessed small harassment, so to say, military actions on both sides that definitely didn't bring anyone closer to the negotiating table.